Hey guys, how's it going and welcome back. Well, we're here with the 2009 iMac of mine that is now getting High Sierra put back on because, as you may have guessed from the title, I decided to try using OpenCore and putting on macOS Monterey. My choices are Big Sur, Monterey, or Ventura. Woo! And when you're done with Monterey, of course, and you check your updates, it's going to suggest, hey, you want to go to Ventura? Or just update Safari. Anyways, so as far as running wise goes, I mean, the main OS itself runs really nice. That I was very impressed with. What didn't impress me was after downloading the most current versions of GarageBand and iMovie and trying to run them, well, no. Comes up with a graphical error on GarageBand because it can't load the graphics. iMovie, I didn't even get to read the error fast enough and the program crapped out on me. So you're not going to be able to run iMovie. You're definitely not going to be able to run GarageBand. So if you like those programs, yeah, forget it. Which also means probably DaVinci Resolve. If you've tried using that as an editor, it's not going to work for you. And you're not going to be able to get the older versions of GarageBand or iMovie down from your App Store because it's going to take what's current for seeing Monterey. You know, like when you go and use High Sierra, which was the last supported OS for this computer, and a lot of computers, so I'm going to throw them all under the boat. If your computer only supported as High Sierra, for sure, do not use OpenCore and try and go to a newer operating system because, yeah, you're going to definitely experience some really different issues, okay? So it's the only way I can say it politely. It's what's in my tree that I'm thinking differently, okay? Because this is kind of annoying. High Sierra is still able to go on the internet right now. The last security updates for it and any major updates were in 2020, so only 2 years ago. So we've probably got until maybe the end of 2023, and then Sierra is definitely going to be a dinosaur. But right now you can install the most current version of Google Chrome, probably a lot of other browsers out there that are current. I didn't check to see what version of Safari was actually on Sierra to compare against, like, you know, what I'm running on Ventura on my Mac Mini, but I can always do that later since we're going back to High Sierra anyways. We don't have a choice. Because what I want to do with this computer is I want to use it for, you know, doing some songwriting. I want to mess around with GarageBand a bit with it. And of course, maybe do some very small video editing things with it because it does take forever. I did a regular edit not that long ago and it was like over 2 hours to export the video. Never mind the import time was mental. You know, when you got a more modern day Mac, you drop it onto iMovie and it's like, boom, instant in. Alright, let's clip this, clip that, throw this, throw that, boom, export, done. You know, but Intel Macs do take a long time to export. An M1 can export the same size file in like 5 minutes. So I'm really loving the M1 when it comes to video editing. It is like faster than any other Mac that I've ever owned. And I've owned quite a few Macs over the years. And my last baddest Mac, we'll say, and bad in a good way, was my late 2015 iMac. And that thing was really nice, even for video editing. Yeah, this thing is a little on the slow side, but you know what? I don't really care because I could have a video edit set up even on the iMovie that works on here, doing the same thing I usually do anyways, which is nothing really intensive for editing. Have that doing its thing while I'm going off and doing GarageBand or Logic Pro on my Mac Mini, or surfing the net. Well, that's doing its job. This way I'm not interfering with having too much going on with the CPU at the same time. So there are benefits to having a couple of Macs kicking around, obviously. But absolutely do not use OpenCore. DOS Dude, by the way, does not work with this particular model year of iMac. It said that it supported the iMac, but I guess I should have probably read a lot further, but I did try it, and it would not work with this iMac. But OpenCore, though it works with this iMac just fine, everything went through smooth, when it came to trying to run GarageBand and iMovie, they're not going to run for you. Okay, so it's going to error out with a graphic issue, and it's going to quit, and there's nothing you can do about it. I couldn't even update past the first set of sound files. It just said nope. It did the first set, but then it automatically said, okay, you want to download some more? Okay, sure. And then that's when it started going wonky on me, so it's like, all right. Then I shut the machine down, and it didn't even want to reboot. Oh, that was another problem too. Booting issues. It come up with a circle with an X going like, no, you're not allowed to do this. And I'm like, squeeze me? You know? Yeah. You're going to have to, if you want to try this for yourself, go ahead. But you're going to have to zap the PRAM a few times. So make sure you've got a plugged in USB keyboard. The USB wireless one I tried, it wasn't working for me to even reset the PRAM. I don't know why, but a plugged-in keyboard, flawless, no problem. Because I don't have the Apple Magic keyboard for this computer or the Apple Magic mouse, so I'm using what I got kicking around. If you want to try it yourself just to see, so you know what I'm saying, go right ahead. I mean, but once you find out how much stuff fails on you that makes it like stupid to do this, you can go back. You're going to have to zap the PRAM at least 3 or 4 times. So holding down that command sequence to do that, just don't let go till it's reset 3 or 4 times, and then shut it down, and then hold the power button in, and let it boot up. So you can also, you're also going to want to zap the nav RAM as well. And then you should be back to normal, and you should have full control back over your computer, and you can reboot from your High Sierra boot USB stick, and you're back up and running. So it's not a problem that way, so don't worry about it. You're not going to brick the computer, but it'll probably freak you out a little bit, but that's why I'm here telling you, don't worry about it, you'll be fine. Anyway, so I just want to give you guys this little bit of an update video on this. I tried it. It's not something I've ever really supportive. I've always frowned upon Hackintoshing, we'll say, a Mac, or making a Hackintosh, period. Always frowned on it, especially, you know, I would never do this for a customer, but I thought, you know what, I want to make this thing last. It says it can do it, well, let's see what happens. And it turns out it's a failure. So even though they say, yes, it will run, which the OS will, you're going to have a lot of problems with programs that are not going to run. Because, I mean, let's face it, too. This thing only has 256 megabytes of video, so I wasn't expecting the world even out of GarageBand, but it was trying at least to fire up all the way. It just can't do it. Anyhow, that's it. That's all. Questions, comments, down below. I'm done with this experiment, at least with this computer. I do have my wife's laptop that we may attempt this on and see what happens, but I'm kind of thinking, I think hers is a 2010, so we might have better luck. My camera did work, though, fine on this, so the webcam was fine with QuickTime, but it's the other stuff that kind of fell apart around me, so there you go. Anyways, thanks again, and yeah, see you on the next one. Ciao.